Now then guys, as we start 2024, thought it was about time that I did a workshop tour. So, let's look at things. This garage is 4 metres long by 2.5 metres wide. Standard UK single garage. We've got a table saw area. Second main area is this long bench down the end wall with a miter saw built in. The third area is where I do most of my filming, a little bit of my lasering, and that's this bench along the back wall. And after that, we've just got a few random little bits on wheels. It's got a thicknesser there, a little bit of a wood store there, and that's back into racking on the other side. So first of all, let's have a look at the table saw. This is a bog standard Titan table saw, nothing special. All I've done is mount it into the bench. The bench itself is 1.10 metre long by 1.3 metres wide. The reason I've done this is A, for outfeed and side support, but also in a small shop it just gives me options. I can always lower the blade, and I've got a nice big bench top to work on. It's great for big glue ups, tables and that sort of stuff. Sunk in here is my router table, and on the far side I've adapted the factory fence, so I wanted this nice big one down the long end. It gives me somewhere to put all my stuff. Probably most like you guys, I'm a bugger for losing all my pencils and my push sticks right at the wrong time. Underneath, whilst it's clean now, it's mainly used for storage. I've got a power outlet to the right hand side with individual cut-off circuits, and on this side I've got my nail gun all set up. There's two things I love about this bench. Number one is its size and versatility. I can do loads of different things on it. Number two, quite simply, is that it's on casters. Wherever you need it to go to with one hand. Next up, we've got the jig wall. Nothing saves space like sticking stuff up on a wall and out of way. This is where I keep everything from my straight edge jig, my poor man's track saw, my pocket hole jig, and a couple of other bits and pieces. So bandsaw wise, I've got a Parkside 240 volt bandsaw. I'll be honest, whilst it's okay, it's not the best purchase I've ever had. I bought it very early on in my journey, and it was a steep learning curve that not all items that I call the same thing are actually as useful as each other. It's massively underpowered unless you're using just some really thin MDF or ply, but it comes in handy now and again. So the miter station is the heart of many workshops. It's no different for mine. Halfway down the longest wall, I've got a miter station built in. I built this cabinet behind it for many reasons. Number one, I was hunting that unicorn of dust extraction. It's helped, it captures some of it, but it's not great. So on top of the dust collection and the fence, it also helps with storage. Like many people, I've got loads of little bits and pieces, and I'm trying to be as organised as I can. There's nothing worse than only having an hour to come out to the shop on an evening or a Saturday afternoon and finding that you spend 40 minutes looking for the bits that you need and only 20 minutes making. It's got its own little compartment, it's got its own little tub. I like see-through tubs because often you end up with multiple things in a tub, so you can see what you've got in there. Up to the top, I've got some finishes that I use. Got random little bits and pieces like my raw plugs. But I've got all my glues, I've got my sanding stuff, I've got my PPE. It's a very important box of gloves, various other little bits and pieces. Down the bottom, it's those items that you're reaching for all the time. I've got my drills set out, I always know where they are, my battery's behind it. And then over this side, it's just some random bits and pieces like pencils, some wipes. Probably one of the best bits of kit that I've got is this thicknesser. It's an old one, it weighs a ton, but the difference it makes, and if I were to start again, I'd be honest, I would spend more money on the back end of production, like a thicknesser, like a planer, so I could get that good finish. So some other staples of the workshop, my thickness planer, love this. If I could go back in time, I'd spend more money on things like this than I did on saws, but you learn. This is mounted onto a set of drawers, which again, just just has even more stuff in it. So I've got a circular saw, some sanders, jigsaw, heat guns, they're all in there. And once again, it's on casters, so it can just slide around the workshop. So let's talk dust extraction then. First of all, I've got the good old reliable Henry Hoover. What a guy. I've had this guy about 8 years, absolutely amazing. Recently upgraded to a Shapak chip extractor. It's not great, but every little helps. And finally, it's up the top, we've got the fine dust particle remover. That's just a jet one. Nice little find on eBay for 50 quid. I wanted plenty of storage. So I've got some drawers that I brought from my last workshop, some cabinets that I've made whilst I've been here. Quite simply, just more tubs full of stuff. I've got some more clamps, some finishing gear. I think there's paint on the other side. And this one has got all my finished chopping boards in. They're all ready for the next market that I'm doing. For the lighting, I've got a couple of strip lights, your usual LED type strip lights. Got one there, got one up here right at the back. And I've got my new laser zone over here. I think I'm going to have to sort out some extraction for that. And then just your general household type stuff that's stored in and amongst on this. Camera setup's quite simple. I've got a small tripod. I've also got an extendable arm that I just clamp to any worktop. This makes things dead easy. Nothing's permanent and in the way. And it can be moved around as I need it to be. So guys, that brings us towards the end of the workshop tour. Hopefully someone's got some value with this. Anyone starting out can see what you can achieve in a small workshop and just some simple ways to set some things up. There'll be some changes coming in the next 12 months, I'm sure. And I might revisit this and do it again then. But until then, thanks for watching.